Briscoes versus Homicide and Roderick Strong. Did some mat wrestling early, and they're in this match.
They got the heat on Homicide.
Yeah.
And they got the heat for, 2.5 minutes. Then Homicide started to crawl for the corner, and you said, don't make the tag.
Yeah.
And he reached forward and he made the tag, and Roderick Strong came in and he made a fucking awesome comeback.
Yeah.
He was killing men. He was flying through the sky. He was throwing men around. It was all great. And I said, look, if they do the finish here in 2 minutes, this will be fine.
Yeah, and I thought that same thing.
Yes. Clearly they disagreed because they went another 15 minutes or so.
And the crowd died.
They died dead. The last 8 minutes of this was an empty arena match.
Listen, I've said this before. If you do a match, I don't give a fuck how you do it. If the place is going insane, good for you. Mm-hmm. You did something right. Maybe it was an easy crowd. Maybe you did exactly what the crowd wanted to see. I don't care. You do a match and the place is going absolutely nuts, good for you.
Okay.
You do a match and the crowd's going nuts at one point because the guy's making a comeback, and then you keep going and you lose the crowd. You did something wrong.
Yeah.
Now, listen. I'm all for different ideas and tag team matches and that sort of thing, but why do you have a tag match? So you can have more guys doing moves? What is a tag match? Let me tell you what a tag match is. What's the biggest fucking movie in the world right now?
300.
300. Mm-hmm. What's that movie about?
A small army fighting a large army.
It's about 300 guys taking on what at the time they thought was the whole fucking world.
Millions and millions of opposing soldiers.
The whole world.
Yes.
300 men went after the whole world. This was thousands of years ago. And now, thousands of years later, it's the biggest movie in America.
It's still a compelling story.
No, the point is, it's a story that will be talked about for 1,000,000 years.
Yeah.
In 1,000,000 years, people will know about 300 Spartans. Why? Because of this story. What is a tag match? Let me tell you what a tag match is. Let's say you're walking down the street. You're walking down the street and you see some dude coming out of an office building and two thugs jump him and they just start beating the fuck out of this one guy.
Right.
You'd be thinking, holy Christ, what the fuck's going on? Look at those two assholes beating on that one guy right there.
Yeah.
So what would happen if, as these two men were beating on this one guy, you ran up and all by yourself, you beat the fuck out of these two thugs and sent them packing, or single-handedly took them to the police.
Yeah. Or better yet, you saw someone else do this. You would think, somebody should help that guy. Hey, cool, here comes a hero to save the day and help this other man, and he's just dispatched the villains.
One man who beats up two men, you're on the front page of the newspaper.
Yeah.
You're a hero.
Yeah.
You're probably on Oprah. You're a famous guy.
Yes.
Why? Because you did something heroic. So what is a tag match? A tag match is two guys isolating one man and beating him up. And they beat this one man up, and they keep tagging in and out repeatedly to let you know, guess what? It's 2-on-1. I'm not beating on this man all by myself while my partner stands there on the corner. I'm beating on this man, and then I'm tagging my partner, and we're tagging back and forth, because guess what? We can and you can't.
That's right.
And everyone's going, God, they're beating on that one fucker. So then the one fucker finally tags his partner. And that one man, all by himself, like fucking Superman, gets in the ring and he beats up two men. He stands right there in the middle and two men run on him and he hits them and they go fucking flying in the air and he beats them up all by himself. And everyone's like, holy shit, he's a hero. This is so easy.
You put it very simply during the match. You just said, two men beat up one man, and then one man beats up two. That should be on a fucking wall.
How much easier could this be? A fucking child can figure this out. Two men beat on one. That's unfair. One man beats on two. He's a hero. There's your fucking tag team match. This is so goddamn easy. Now, when the two men are beating on the one man, I don't give a fuck if you beat on him with a shovel. I don't care if one man holds a man down and another man gets in one of those fucking things that lays down cement and you roll over the man.
A steamroller.
I don't care if the two men throw the one man off the top of a building. I don't care if the two men wrap a rope around one leg and a rope around the other and pull and rip the man in half. I don't give a fuck how they beat on this one man. That's when you start doing some wacky, a springboard, this or that, or a double team move or something like that. It don't matter. That's when you can do all your shit. That's when you get your shit in. And then guess what? When the hero makes his comeback, I don't care if he uses a frying pan. I don't care if he hoists a rock up with a rope and then drops it on the two foes. I don't care if he digs a hole and puts sticks over it and makes them fall into it. I don't give a fuck how the one man beats up the two men. The point is, the one man beat up the two men. He's a hero. He is a hero. That's it. This is so easy.
And here's the other key.
I can't understand how you can't do a tag match. This story is so simple. You could take this story to any fucking building on the earth. You could take this to a fucking building in New York. You could take this to a fucking building in Oregon. You could take this to a fucking building in Africa. You could take this to a fucking building in Siberia. You could take this to a fucking building in Japan. This is a universal story that anyone can do. And when I watch a match, and you've got two men beating on one, and then one man is beating on two, and then all of a sudden, four men are just doing moves, and everybody dies, I'm like, well, why the fuck do you think that happened? Why do you think that happened? Because all of a sudden, it ain't that big a deal anymore. All of a sudden, there ain't a hero, and there ain't villains. There's just four guys doing shit. God, this fucking match made me mad.
That was a fine rant. And I want all of you to know, Bryan was pantomiming and doing hand motions for every word of that.
This was when we needed a webcam.
This was a time we actually legit needed a webcam, and more than for just 1 second. Bryan digging the hole and hoisting whatever you said and all of that, that was fine. You were on quite the roll. And yes, you got the key points, right? That this story is simple, and for some reason they still can't grasp it. And you have the one man beat up two, and then it should just end. That should be the last vision. Either the one man beats up two and wins, or the one man beats up two
and gets fucked.
That's all. That's option A or B.
All you need to do.
The more complicated to make it, the more you water it down.
Yes.
So.
Then we had Claudio Castagnoli.
Actually, I'm not done.
Oh,
this is 5% of the problem with this match, but Cornette has been giving the Briscoes suggestions that for example, if Roderick Strong is Homicide's partner, do whatever you got to do to him. I got nothing against him, but you must take out Homicide. So then before this match, at the end of his promo, he says, I am ordering you. I don't care about Roderick Strong, but you must take out Homicide. So they get the heat on Homicide, and then Roderick makes his comeback, and then they got the heat on Roderick Strong, which A, makes for a shitty match, and B, openly defies Cornette's orders.
Yes.
So yes, thumbs down for this.
Samoa Joe.